What can I do for you?
I can instruct you in jewel crafting. Interested?
Welcome to the field, warrior. You can't get a feel for the tactical situation if you're hiding in a fortress all day. I always like to get my boots dirty. HRM, news from the fortress? Well, spit it out. The general reads over the report, nodding in approval as he reads about the battle scar. Quite a name you're earning for yourself here in the Barrens, Monzi. But Roberts isn't going far enough. What we need is a decisive victory. The patrol's been quiet today. And that's got me worried, Monzi. Ever since the Alliance sacked Torajo, none of our positions are secure. You look like you can handle yourself, can you scout around for me? Check in with my son Marley outside the Bale Modan excavation, southeast of here. The site's exposed and susceptible to raids, and my son's too proud to signal for help if he needs it.
Be good. What's on your mind?
Twin Braids patrols always throw us right into the thick of danger. If it's not horde ambushes, it's a Quillbore hit and run. The problem is them lousy land Quaker Kodos. Big walk-in walls of fur, shake in the ground. We can't see or hear an ambush creepin' Utgard pinnacle on our backside. Go scare 'em off from our patrol, here. Killing a few should drive the herd south and out of what's left of me here.
Keep your feet on the ground.
I thought you might be responsible for them clouds of dust I saw to the east. Nice work. Them bulls ain't sissies.
Well met.
We do our best here to heal the broken earth. It was difficult enough before we started getting raided at night. What? Little Logan thinks I might need protection? It's me doing the protecting. The Quillbore here are poised to rampage. They've choked off the entire south, and we're the only thing standing in their way. A moment there, warrior. We've got more problems here than just the end of the world as we know it. Our vigil here's threatened by the Quillbore. We've been content to leave them be when they stay in the Croil, sure, but every day they press further and further out towards our camp. Ma, bless her green heart, wouldn't ever forgive me if I went out bashing heads in myself, but if you could help drive back those that re-wandering near the camp, I'd appreciate it.
See you soon.
We are here to monitor the scars of the land, and watch for further signs of instability. While we haven't seen any yet, a cataclysmic aftershock could devastate the Barrens even further. To the northeast, near the chasm, Earth elementals rampage out of control. To soothe the Earth, these need to occasionally be destroyed, and their essence returned in a ritual. If you help us do this, warrior, I would be happy to reward you. Mancraig's furor over his dead wife raises further concerns, warrior. The Quillboar in Razorfen Croyle are far more ruthless and full of hatred than Mancraig could ever imagine. You should travel south there and speak with my old friend Aldstone Spire. He works to put an end to their rampage before the land suffers more in its already weak condition. This bright red stone, found clutched in the grasp of a quillboar, has been carefully carved into the likeness of a great boar, with thorny vines sprouting from its back. Its surface is smooth and worn with care. Did the quillboar make this? If you find others, maybe one of the shaman at Firestone Point could tell you more about them.
raise or main tier says. Attempts to run away in fear.
Great to meet you.
You've my thanks, if not that of the entire earthen ring. Maybe someday we'll find a way to talk it out with these pigs, but we can't heal the land if we're dead in our sleep. Una here used to spend time in Camp Toraja. She's told me about a quillboar that used to be captured there, named Mangletooth. Quite the clever one, for a quillboar. I've been trying to think what got these quillboar riled Utgard Pinnacle so much recently, and it might be that Mangletooth escaped Torajo alive. If he has, he's certainly calling the shots. There's a large hut Utgard Pinnacle in the hills to the northwest. If you find Mangletooth there, cut him down.
Keep your feet on the ground.
The elements must be carefully balanced, so returning the essence is key. I hope you've been collecting it. Thank you, friend. It's important we try to calm this earth in every way we can.
Ancestors watch.
Yes? These are blood shards. They used to be found all over the Barrens. It's said they were formed from the blood of Agamaggan, the great demigod that the quillboar sprang from. I knew the quillboar prized them, but nobody would think they'd take the time and care to carve them like this one. There may be more to learn here. I think the quillboar are being driven by more than just crude desire. Would you help me look into this further? To the west, scattered among the quillboar's settlements and camps, I've noticed boar skulls. They gleam from a distance, polished smooth. Distinct from the remains littered in their waste piles. I think these may be objects of worship. Bring me several of these to examine, Monzi.
Go with honor.
What's on your mind?
That's a relief. Maybe the rest of them will keep to their own devices now. The less fighting around here, the better.
Safe travel.
Glory to the
Do you have the skulls? Yes, these are clearly symbols of Agamagan. But if the Quillbore are still devoted to their dead god, what is the source of their vicious Agar's Zion? It is said Agamagan was noble, and even gave his life fighting the Burning Legion. A moment, Monzi. We must confer with the spirits.
go with honor.
Aid me, friends. Let us call upon the spirits for vision. I see. She's using him to manipulate them all.
How are ya?
Father sent you. He worries too much. There's nothing here I can't handle. But I'd still appreciate the help. These crazy Tauren, always trying to blow Utgard Pinnacle, my flying machine. This has been going on for years. Look at the chaos down there, Monzi. I've instructed the foremen to save what artifacts they can. Who knows what treasures these Tauren animals are like to make off with? Can you help get a handle on things? Kill the raiders and save what artifacts you can. While you're at it, look for my missing tools. A few quick repairs and I can get this flying machine Utgard Pinnacle and running again. These crazy Tauren, always. Saddest story I ever heard told, Monzi. Feedly was one of our fastest diggers, until he got a hold of that thing. The Tear of the Moons we called it. It changed him. Remade him. I wish it had stayed buried. Feedly was banished from Vale Modan, but I've heard reports he's come sniffing around a dig site again. He's suffered enough, the wretched thing. If you find him down there, put old Feedly out of his misery.
See you soon.
Panic.
He's in here. Let's get in.
Save what you can, every dwarf for himself.
These crazy Tauren. How's the situation down there? When the raid started I popped a bullet into their ringleader, Stonespear, but they just kept right on coming. My father would be proud of you, Monzi. Now, to get this flying machine Utgard Pinnacle and about again. Marley nods grimly. It's for the best I suppose.
They're everywhere.
Okay, Monzi. Let's take these artifacts to my father and give him our report firsthand. Thanks to your help my flying machine is ready to roll. We can fly there together and share in the glory. Talk to me when you're all set to move out.
Off with you. What can I do for you?
It's a one-seater plane, but you can always sit Utgard Pinnacle on the fuselage. It's perfectly safe. You ready?
Watch your back.
Don't let them make off with any of the artifacts. Hold on tight back there. Seatbelts are for chumps. We're all very proud of Vale Modem. It was the first dwarven settlement in Kalimdor. Utgard Pinnacle ahead is Vale Dun Keep. Isn't she a beauty? That stronghold is indestructible. What the keep is under attack. I can't hold it. Mayday. Mayday.
The battered dwarf hangs limply from the cockpit. As you approach the burning wreckage, his eyes flutter open. Marley Twinbraid is still alive. Marley grasps the side of your head with a shaking, bloody hand. Ale. Must. Have ale. Old Barker stout from inside. He coughs. That should do the trick.
Correct on me.
Help, help. You've got to do something. Some dwarves are still inside, so many, they're trapped in the debris. Buried alive. The flames. It's a nightmare in there. We don't know how much longer until the roof collapses. Please, warrior, you've got to save them. Run inside. Use the emergency fire valves to protect yourself from the flames. You're the only hope they have.
Keep your feet on the ground. Well met. No.
Sabotage. It had to be. The whole fortress magazine exploded. The horde must have gotten someone inside. Warrior, if you've the stones to rush into that burning nightmare, look for some clues as to who did this to us. The general will want to know. Look for a horde corpse in the wreckage and get to the bottom of this disaster.
Be good.
I thought I was cooked like a turkey dinner. I thought I was done for. Thank you. How could this have happened? There are still others. Search the barracks. How could they have done this? This whole keep is going to collapse. I thought I was cooked like a turkey dinner. There are still
One smoldering corpse stands out amidst the carnage. The dead goblin clutches the schematics of the fortress in his lifeless hand. The Bilgewater Cartel goblins. One smoldering... General Twinbraid will want to know the details of this cowardly attack. You gather Utgard Pinnacle the evidence.
What's on your mind?
You're a legend, Monzi. The other survivors and I will be telling the story of your deeds for years to come.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Marley's breathing is ragged, coming and going in shuddering gasps. His eyes look at you imploringly. Marley's eyes sparkle as you rush toward him with the ale. He grasps the mug in both of his shaking hands and upends it, white foam spilling out over his blood-caked beard. Auction house. That's the stuff. Old Barker Stout. Thank you, friend. That'll make this a little easier. Coughing one final time, he slumps over the shattered control console, the half-empty mug crashing to the ground and spilling its contents into the sand. His eyes glaze over. Marley Twinbraid is dead. You gently close Marley's eyes. Someone is going to have to tell General Twinbraid that the Horde has killed his only son. That someone is you.
Great to meet you.
Have you been to Baal Modan? What's going on over there? General Twinbraid hurls his axe blade into the dirt, his voice quiet but his body quivering with disbelief and rage. That was my boy, Monzi. My only boy. They've made it personal, warrior. Personal. What? What? Baal done in ruins. Corpses everywhere, no. No. You describe the evidence you found at the scene. The Bilgewater goblins, was it? They want a fight, do they? We'll show them what it means to be a part of the Horde, we will. I'll fill the battle scar with their corpses. I'll redden the dirt with their blood. Twin Braid grabs you by the collar. Goblins are going to die. I want to see some dead goblins, Monzi. Just west of here you'll find a whole warren of those little insects burrowing into the mountain. Let's see to it that they're digging their grave. Destroy them. Lay waste to their whole grubby operation. They've sown their own demise in Baeldon, warrior, and it is time to meet the Reaper.
See you soon.
They're going to pay, Munzi. They're all going to pay.
What can I do for you? Hello.
They're going to pay, Monzi. It's not enough to kill them. After Baeldon, I want to give those goblins a taste of their own. Go into Frazzlecrast's mine and arm a pile of the explosives inside. At the entrance to the mine you should see some sort of switch or plunger. Once the explosives are armed, use the plunger to blow that place sky high. Put the fear in them, warrior.
Be good.
Frazzlecrast form and set. Becomes enraged. The explosives are armed and ready. You shield your eyes from the blast and the debris as the mine implodes onto itself. General Twinbraid will be pleased, but somehow you doubt it'll be enough to quench his thirst for vengeance.
Well met.
They're going to pay, Monzi. They're all going to pay. Dead. Good. Let word of this deed spread, and with it, terror. The Horde will feel the consequences of their attack on Baeldun, and they'll rue the day they ever crossed us, Monzi. Twinbraid nods as you describe the destruction of the mine, but his eyes still burn with rage. Very nice work, Monzi. I suppose there's some strategic value in depriving the Horde of those minerals, but I'd have done it anyway just to crush those little green monstrosities. Hawthorne dead. My own son murdered. The situation in the Barrens is out of control, Monzi. I'm going to take charge of Fort Triumph and try to lock things down. To do that, I'm going to need reinforcements. Reinforcements that were promised from their Amore weeks ago. Travel to their Amore in Dustwallow Marsh and give Captain Garenvims an earful. What good is that blasted road through the swamp if the men and materiel aren't rolling in?
See you soon.
Use Dartol's rod and speak with Atarwen. Convince him to rise at guard pinnacle against his horde oppressors. Then, deliver Dartol's rod to Rain Wilfruna. Description. Now, take the rod and while using its power, speak with my brother, Atarwen. Atar is amongst the other furbolg that the orcs have captured and have penned in the giant cage on the north side of Silverwind Refuge. The rod will allow you to convince Atar and the other furbolg to rise at guard pinnacle and attack the horde. Then you may go wherever your path leads you. Just know that you have found a new friend for that which you have done.
The patch of swamp to the northeast is home to a particularly nasty breed of raptors. We've lost more than one unwary soldier to them, but I think we can turn them against our grim totem neighbors. Take this rope and use it to capture bloodfen raptors or bloodfen screechers that you've subdued. I wouldn't try to capture one of the beasts until you've weakened them quite a bit in combat. It's going to be quite a struggle.
Bloodfen Raptor says. Looks weak enough to capture. Bloodfen Screecher says. Calls for help.
Great, finally something that doesn't want to eat me. I need help handling the critters around here, and you fit the mold, lady. The cook Morgenstern is researching a new recipe, and he sent me out here to gather bogbian leaves? I guess he thinks they're tasty. Anyway, while looking for a bogbian plant, I got myself surrounded. Can you help me out of here, and watch my back as I look for the bogbian?
Have a good one.
Okay, let's get started. Bloodfen Raptor says. Looks weak enough to capture. Bloodfen Screecher says. Calls for help. Bloodfen Raptor says. Looks weak enough to capture.
You need something?
Now let's look for the herb. Nope, not here.
What can I do for you?
You dance with Stinky Ignatz. You brush at guard pinnacle against Stinky Ignatz and fart loudly. There must be one around here somewhere. Auction house, there's one. Come, Monzi. Let's go over there and collect it. Okay, now let's get out of here. I can make it from here. Thanks, Monzi. And talk to my employer about a reward.
Did you capture those raptors? You look a little scratched at guard pinnacle, but nothing major. You're certainly in a lot better shape than the Grim Totems will be when our new raptor friends get done with them. Be on your guard. We are Thuramore's first line of defense against its many enemies in the marsh. Now that we've got our raptors, our next move is to encourage them to attack the Grim Totems at Blackhoof Village to the northwest. I've got a leftover haunch of... well, it doesn't really matter what it is. It'll be your bait. Set it down on the ground in Blackhoof Village near the windmill in the center of the settlement. The raptors should take care of the rest, if they're training to... Be on your guard. We're doing all we can to keep the Grim Totem Raiders at bay, but they keep launching assaults on the tower. Even worse, they've managed to discover and capture the patrols the captain sends out to gather information and safeguard the road. I suspect the captives are being held in Blackhoof Village, to the northwest. Knowing the Grim Totems, the defenders of the village probably carry the keys to the prisoners' cages with them. I don't care what you have to do, warrior, just bring back my men alive. I like cooking. Good swamp cooking. Fried green frog legs and the like. And I'm all out of legs. The manor is overrun with frogs, though. Giant marsh frogs. Think you could bring me some of those legs? Nothing to it, really. Just bind on pickup M on the head and bring me the legs. Then I'll make a stew and stew it at Utgard Pinnacle and suck it down and give you some too. Do you like stew? I traveled out here to pay Jarl a visit at his new home and it's been a non-stop horror show ever since. There's something seriously wrong here and I can't be the only one who sees it. Have you seen the ghosts and corpses shambling about Witch Hill? I've a feeling that if anyone knows what happened here, it is them. Seek out these risen husks and risen spirits in the surrounding area, grant them rest through combat, and see what you can learn from them before this evil consumes Jarl.
Sifting through the loose dirt, the severed hand of an orc is found. And clutched in the hand is a bone-carved tube. And in the tube is a dirt-stained parchment. The parchment is written in Orcish. And it looks important.
My scouts have reported a shipwreck just off the beach to the northeast. Shipwrecks aren't all that unusual out here, but the reports also indicated the survivors were all wearing red bandanas. The symbol of the Defias. The reports indicate their leader resides on a large island just off the coast to the northeast of the tower. Kill him and retrieve any documents you find in his possession.
Be careful.
I haven't much time to talk unless it's urgent, citizen. The gates of Thuramoreai are my greatest responsibility. Do you have a report to make? Hard mode. I can't read Orcish very well, but this looks like a report. Written by an orc spot. Captain Vims should see the orc report you found, Monzi. He knows the orcish language better than most. And he should know that there are horde spies near their Amore. The captain is in the barracks, on the northeastern side of their Amore Isle.
Have a good one.
The Steamweedle cartel has recently established a new outpost in the southern part of Dustwallow Marsh. It's called Mudsprocket, if I recall, and it's located on the main road south out of Tabitha's farm and the Stone Mall ruins. This is an excellent opportunity for us to establish new trade contacts, and Lady Jaina wants me to send a representative down there to establish contact. Would you be willing to go?
Greetings.
Welcome to their Amore. Deep in the heart of the swamp lives an old woman named Tabitha. We've never really known much about her, save that she's a good deal older than she appears. She's helped us from time to time and helped keep the peace here between the Horde and our forces. She used to keep in regular contact, but we haven't received one lately. Could you check in with her when you have time? Just follow the road beyond North Point Tower, where it turns south and into the quagmire. You can see her farm from the road.
He'll bring you meat.
I can't help it if I feel sorry for old Jim there. He wasn't always like that. Ran in and out in the marsh for a while, wonderful place. Look, I don't really want to talk about it. Bring it at Guard Pinnacle with Captain Vims if you really have to. He's stationed on the top floor of Foothold Citadel, the large barracks to the east of Lady Jaina's tower.
It's good to see you defending Thrymor with pride, friend. When you're off duty, let's go to the inn. I'll buy a round and we can reminisce about the good old days. Wouldn't you like to bring those days back? I have some friends who know just the way to do that.
How are you?
Researching in their Amore is an interesting job, but it's sure hard to find a soft bed in this town. Mr. Ignatz was just here with the Bogbian leaves, and he told me you helped him out of some real trouble. Thank you, Monzi. I will ask my uncle to treat you to a feast the next time you visit the Blue Recluse in Stormwind. I'm working on a dish I call mudrock soup and bugs. I still need the major ingredients, and... well, I don't think I'd last long trudging through Dustwallow Marsh. So, Monzi, can you do some hunting for me? First, I need the tongues of mudrock turtles. You can find mudrocks along the coast, mostly around the bay. But I don't want just any tongues. I hear that the tongues of some mudrocks are forked. They say the forked tongues have a distinct flavor, and I want that flavor in my dish.
Safe travels.
What can I do for you?
The guards of their Amore are the finest group of Alliance soldiers based in Kalimdor. It is our duty to uphold the laws of the Alliance even so far away from our homes. We don't know much about the burning of the Shady Rest Inn, except that James Hyle's wife and child were unable to escape. We managed to drag James out, but he hasn't been the same since. We have many leads but not much evidence. It is our hope that through the efforts of the Guard and the vigilant help of the people of their Amore, we will unravel this terrible crime. If you would like to lend assistance to the investigation, what remains of the inn can be found at the border to the Barrens.
Be careful. Greetings, for the Alliance.
What now, soldier? Reinforcements. For the Barrens. We've been bleeding supplies and men there for months. Does someone need to remind Twinbraid of the attack on North Watch? Our losses at Honor's Stand? What happened to the men I sent to Fort Triumph? We've nothing to spare. Listen Monzi, if you want to help out our cause, you'll focus your efforts here in Dustwallow. Between the deserters and the Horde encroachment. We could use a hand. The guards of their... You have something for me? A report from an orc spot. How did you find this? No matter, let's see what it says. The guards of their Amore are the finest group of Alliance soldiers. James Hyle's his real name. He opened an inn at the edge of the Barrens. Wanted to make a nice place for travelers to stop over. Might be he was thinking too big. but the inn did do well for a while. Then we lost control of the roads in the marsh, and the ogres took over. James was too stubborn to give Utgard Pinnacle his dream for safety within our walls, and the Shady Rest Inn was burned to the ground. We're investigating, but haven't had much luck. If you want to help out, see what you can find in the rubble.
Thank you for this report, Monzi. It is now clear that we must tighten our patrols near their Amor.
Light bless you.
The guards of their Amore are the finest group of alliance. Poor James never recovered from the destruction of the Shady Rest and the murder of his family. The boys and I are doing what we can to find the monsters who did this. I've sent our best investigator, Inspector Taram, out to the ruins, but this is too big a job for any one man. If you'd lend Taram a hand, we'd appreciate it. Light knows, we'd all like to be out there helping. The main road will lead you to the inn, but take care. Your journey will take you beyond the protection of my soldiers.
Be careful.
It's good to meet you, warrior. I've come to the Amor to help eliminate the problem of the deserters. Not only have some of the men abandoned their posts, but some have filtered back into the town. These deserter agents are spreading lies and propaganda, hoping to convince others to join their ranks. They're at virtually every guard post throughout the town and the docks. Find them, expose them, and discredit them. At this point, anything more risks inspiring more sympathy for them. Have you driven the deserter agents from their Amor?
Hello, can I help?
The old lighthouse out to the east hasn't worked for some time, but Babs Fizzletalk has gotten it into her head to get it working again. I don't know how she plans to do it by herself, but she claims that it'll make the movement of ships and goods into the docks smoother, so I can't really object. Drawing duty on the docks is really nothing to complain about when you could be on the front lines, you know.
Be careful.
Hey there. You
It's
need
good to see
something?
you defending.
You seem like a sensible warrior, friend. Do you remember the glory days of their Amore, back before Jaina made us give Utgard Pinnacle the fight against the Horde? Are you sick of being told to stay your blade while the orcs continue to provoke us?
When you're off duty, let's go to the inn.
Good day to you. What can I do for you?
You seem like a sensible warrior, friend. Do you remember the glory days of their Amore, back before Jaina made us give Utgard Pinnacle the fight against the Horde?
How are you?
Hello, how are you?
You seem like a sensible warrior, friend. Do you remember the glory days of their Amore, back before Jaina made us give Utgard Pinnacle the fight against the Horde? Are you sick of being told to stay your blade while the orcs continue to provoke us?
It's people like you who weaken the alliance and invite the Horde to take away all we've fought for. Deserter Agitator says. Attempts to run away in fear.
You need something?
You seem like a sensible warrior, friend. Do you remember the glory days of their Amore, back before Jaina made us give Utgard Pinnacle the fight against the Horde? Are you sick of being told to stay your blade while the orcs continue to provoke us?
These people will know Admiral Proudmore for the true hero he was.
Hello, what can I do?
You seem like a sensible warrior, friend.
Deserter agitator says. Attempts to run away in fear.
Hello.
Well done, Monzi. I think we managed to catch them off guard. Their agents probably thought themselves safe within the city walls. Given time, the agitators will return and spread their lies again. We'll use the time you've bought to shut out the deserters further. The deserter agents were doing far more than just chatting at Guard Pinnacle the guards. We've found a number of leaflets the deserters somehow managed to smuggle in on a ship in the docks. The ship used to transport the leaflets is still in their Amor, at the farthest dock. If you can sneak aboard and capture the rest of their propaganda documents, their agents will lose their most powerful tool. Be careful. The ship is manned by seasoned privateers and the cargo is probably being kept in the captain's quarters.
See you later.
Marksmen, form at Guard Pinnacle and take your positions.
Did you manage to find and capture the remaining propaganda leaflets? The SI-7 agent nods in approval. Excellent. All that remains is to discredit the deserters so that they'll never gain a foothold in their Amor again, and I have just the plan to do it. It would be a shame to let these leaflets go to... I don't think you want to learn anything I can teach. Might want to find a warrior trainer to help you out. With just a little creative editing, these are much more useful. We defeated the sea monster.
Hey there.
I've altered the leaflets you captured from the deserters' mercenary friends at the docks. Now, anyone who reads them will get an entirely different view of the deserters and their aims. If we distribute these to enough of the guards, the deserters will be too embarrassed to ever re-establish their presence within our walls. Kalia hands you a stack of the altered leaflets. Why don't you get started while I plan our next move? Where in the Outlands are those shipments? 4 days they keep me waiting.
It's good to see you defending Thrymor with pride, friend. When you're off duty, let's go to the inn. I'll buy a round and we can reminisce about the good old days. Wouldn't you like to bring those days back? I have some friends who know just the way to do that.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I can use all the help you can offer. My first priority is to get that lamp relit. The old log in the lighthouse indicates that the lamp was fueled with oil from the threshers that live along the coast here. Bobs wrinkles her nose at the mention of such outdated technology. I suppose it's a practical, if an elegant solution. The log says that the oil taken from the youngest merc threshers works the best, and those live right underneath the docks of their Amor. If you're at Guard Pinnacle for it, would you help resupply the lighthouse with fuel?
Alrighty then. Salutations!
Were you able to get any of that thresher oil? Well, I have my doubts, but this is the only solution available right now. Once we have it at Guard Pinnacle and running, I'm sure there will be time to look at other ways to fuel the lamp. You know, it's amazing what you can find in that old lighthouse.
You have a great day now.
Bring dastardly denizens of the deep to dirty Michael Crow on the Thrymore docks.
How are you?
You might wanna stand back. Fish gutting is a dirty job. What'll it be today? The snook is quite good. Well, now, that was thoughtful o' Bob's to send that over. I don't know if you've leafed through it or not, but there's a lot of truth to the tales in that book. Sailors didn't just make it all Utgard Pinnacle, you know.
One of the most frightening creatures I've ever seen with my own eyes is Tethy. I've only laid eyes on the beast once, and I count myself lucky beyond belief to have survived. It was a dark and stormy night. Through the swirling seas and driving rain, the beacon of Thrymor's lighthouse was barely visible. We did our best to steer toward it. Suddenly, the beast burst from between the waves in front of our ship. The mighty creature's maw opened wide, tossing bolts of icy water toward our vessel. Those terrible jaws clamped down upon the bow of our ship, tearing it from the hull. Sailors and cargo were thrown violently into the sea as the remnants of the ship disappeared beneath the waves. The last thing I remember was flying from the broken hull, hitting the inky waters, and plunging beneath the waves. The world went dark and I thought for certain I'd drawn my last breath. When I awoke in Thrymor's infirmary, I knew someone had to tell our story.
Good day to you.
You might want to stand back. What'll it be today? Well, now, that was thoughtful. Oh, I'm sure you and Bob's had a good laugh over the outlandish descriptions and sketches in the book, but have you stopped to consider there might be some truth to the legends? If you listen closely enough, I bet you can still hear sailors talk about Tethur, the sea creature the book says lives right here. Of course, if you wanted to know for sure, you could always ask old Natpigel. He's got a small fishing camp on a little island in Tide Fury Cove, which is southwest across Dust Wallow Bay.
See you later.
You might want to stand back. Fish garden is a dirty job.
Wouldn't you like to bring those days back? I have some friends who know just the way to do that. Well met, warrior. I'm learning the art of griffin handling from Baldruck over there. One day, I hope to run my own stable of griffins. It's good to see you defending Thrymor with pride, friend. When you're off duty, let's go to the inn. I'll buy a round and we can reminisce about the good old days. Wouldn't you like to bring those days back?
Welcome to the Amore Isle. Something I can help you find?
Hey, thanks. The Amor guard says. Reads the leaflet.
Welcome to the Amore Isle. Something I can help you find?
Hey, thanks. The Amor guard says. Reads the leaflet. Welcome to the Amor, warrior. Looking for something? Hey.
Welcome to the Amore, warrior. Looking for something?
Welcome to the Amor, warrior. Welcome to the Amor, warrior. Looking for something? The Amor guard says. Reads the leaflet. Hey, thanks.
Wouldn't you like to bring those days back? I have some friends who know just the way to do that.
Receive 50% off deserter undergarments. I thought I heard laughter coming from the barracks. Did you distribute those leaflets I gave you? Kalia chuckles as you describe the guards' reactions to the propaganda. Just as I'd hoped. I think it's safe to say any deserter agents who try to infiltrate the Amor will be laughed right out of town. Now that we've eliminated the deserters from their Amor, it's time to complete this operation. My local contacts have reported that the deserters base their operations in a ship moored on a small island to the southeast of the docks. Arresting their leader, Gaby's Grey Shield, should cause the others to lose their will to fight. Find him within the ship and convince him to surrender. I wouldn't be surprised if he puts at guard Pinnacle a bit of a fight for show, but then surrenders when he understands he can't win.
See you later.
Deserter Lieutenant says. Attempts to run away in fear.
There are more deserters said. Attempts to run away in fear.
I surrender. Stay your blade. I will go with you. Just spare my men. They're good lads who've only made a mistake.
Gaby's request isn't as outlandish as it might sound. With the proper handling, Lady Jaina can return the deserters to the fold, but that is her decision, of course. It's been a pleasure working with you, Monzi. Without your help, I doubt the operation would have gone so smoothly. When I make my report in Stormwind, it will name you as the warrior who ended the deserter threat.
Safe travels.
It's good to see you defending Thermore with pride, friend. When you're off duty, let's go to the inn. I'll buy a round and we can reminisce about the good old days.
What's on your
Where would you like to fly to?
Be good.
Good day to you. Hey there.
Hey, warrior. Are you headed to support Corporal Tegan? He's in charge of keeping the supply routes open. He's got two of the most ornery dwarves I've ever met in charge of sundries. If you want to make an impression on those two crotchety hunters, you're going to need to show that you can hold your own against the predators around here. The raptors west of the hold here are especially vicious. Bring Gusho some fresh hides and you'll make an impression while supplying the troops in one swoop.
See you around.
Terror Tooth Runner says. Calls for help.
You got my attention.
I like the way you think, Bridgewater.
What can I do for you?
There's some good hunting to be found here in the Barrens, if you've the stomach for it. What is it, warrior? This here camp ain't fit for sightseeing. Hey, you're tougher than you look. These terror tooth hides reflect arrows and turn axe blades. They don't go down easy, but their hides are worth their weight in silver in these light forsaken Barrens. Nice work.